Squid Game is a success in China, even with firewalls and censorship. Maybe you don't even like the TV show, but you can't deny its success. This is Libertarian View, your source of decentralized and distributed information. The South Korean TV show Squid Game is a huge success worldwide. Even if the screenplay isn't original, the concept of human players fighting for their lives was explored in other movies, like Battle Royale in 2000 and in The Hunger Games from 2012 to 2015. The way it was presented is intriguing. Focusing on South Korean child games, those activities are similar to neighboring Asian countries, but not too much for the Western civilization. The fact is that this TV show is Netflix's biggest success of all time, by far. In this video, I want to talk about an aspect that it's making socialists around the world in despair. This TV show is a huge success in China. Yes, even with the big firewall blocking Netflix and everything else. I will not give you spoilers, but for this video, you need to know that one of the main characters is a North Korean woman fleeing from the communist regime of North Korea. She's pretty vocal about the absurdities of the North Korean regime and how she's fighting to get some money and rescue her mother from that country. That's a direct criticism of communism. Not only that, but in another moment, the characters refer to their situation in this place, full of oppression and basically a dictatorship as similar to the Chinese Communist Party. I don't need to explain why that's not a thing well suited for China. That's why the CCP bans Netflix and is doing extra work to ensure that Squid Game doesn't reach Chinese audiences. At this point, we need to do a quick explanation. Unlike the rest of the world, China adopts an internet model fully controlled by the state. Every internet traffic in China passes through a big firewall that blocks some foreigner website. But it goes further than that. Sites like Google, YouTube, Facebook, and many others are banned. And not only that, but tags containing the Tiananmen Square massacre, expressions, images, and even dates like the July 4 of 1989, when the massacre took place, are banned and filtered by this firewall. Players worldwide take advantage of that, using references of this massacre to disconnect Chinese players in Western servers. More than that, human sensors monitor in real time the Chinese internet space countrywide, looking for sensible topics, tests against Xi Jinping and related activities. Dystopian and absurd censorship, don't you think? However, if you look at the campaigns about controlling fake news or controlling the internet, or even against the so-called hate speech, in the end, it looks like the goal is the same. The leftist wet dream is to control what people say, just like the Chinese Communist Party. It's not hard to find people mesmerized by Telegram's privacy, pointing out the absurdity of the government not being able to censor and check messages in the app. Well, that's a small step for a China-like firewall. In the USA, Democrats also want to control the internet. The most recent one, Francis Haugen, Facebook's whistleblower, when asked about a solution for this problem, answered that the government should regulate social media. The fact is that every government in the world, all a bunch of socialists, are worried that people have their own opinions based on what they see in the internet, without any government control. Every state would like to have the same power as China has at this moment. The truth is that they are chasing a sweet illusion. They think they can control all the internet if they have enough firewalls, if they have enough control, but the internet's nature is different than they imagine. The internet can be censored. Every time they prohibit some topic on Facebook, people start discussing the same topic on Telegram. That's it. They think that if they control Telegram, the problem is solved. Of course not. Other services are going to be used for that objective. And what if we prohibit every app, unless the ones approved by the government? That's what China does. And does it work? No, because there are ways to bypass those controls. The big Chinese firewall is just an annoyance to the Chinese people. Every time they have to change their VPN service, change its settings, and that is enough to bypass most bans. Squid Games makes it clear. The TV show is a huge success in China. Posts in Weibo, the Chinese Facebook, with the tag "How to Watch Squid Game" were shared 2 billion times in 1 week. There aren't 2 billion people in China. Most people share it more than just once. even with the CCP censoring this ethan completely. Even with a huge army of human censors, the so-called Fifth Cent Army, with people searching social media, it didn't prevent the huge success of Squid Game. How do people watch Squid Game in China? There are a couple of ways. Some people use a VPN service to bypass the firewall, other people use pirate websites to watch Netflix content. There are even companies that offer a pirate version of Netflix. The fact is simple, the internet can be controlled. Leftists can be mad, cry and scream whatever they want. Nothing works against the internet. China, the biggest censorship empire of the world, couldn't prevent people from watching a South Korean TV show. A TV show that accuses the CCP of torture and dictatorship. A TV show that explicitly talks about the problems of North Korea, one of China's biggest allies. And we aren't talking about a few IT specialists who wanted to watch a prohibited media. We're talking about millions and millions, maybe even a billion, of Chinese wanting to watch a TV show and ignoring the restrictions of the government. At first, people need a certain degree of technical knowledge to bypass the Chinese control, but then a list of instructions to follow is enough and everything is accessible. Billions and billions were invested in technology to censor and limit internet information, but you only need a couple of step-by-step lists and even a grandma can watch a South Korean TV show criticizing the Chinese government. It doesn't matter to me the quality of Squid Game. All that matters is that this show is spoiling the dreams of leftist pro-censorship around the world. Thank you for your audience. This article was suggested and written by Peter Turguniev, translated by Paulo Almeida, revised by JJ Lieber and narrated by Alexander Bard. If you like this video, please hit the thumbs up icon below and share the video in your social network. If you want to be notified of older videos, hit subscribe and then the bell icon. See you soon!